Hi, I'm Richard Randall, and welcome back to the Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate. It does it with Barb Schlinker, the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Now, Barb, a lot of people look at those automated valuations that they see on their phones, the ones like Zillow or their neighbor's asking price to determine what they think their home is worth. So, how does a home seller actually decide what price to set when they're thinking about selling the home?
You know, Richard, this is the number one question we get from clients. You know, what do you think our home is worth? And really, who decides its value? That's the question. It's actually at the end of the day, the buyers. The buyers are the ones that are willing to pay the price, whatever the price is, right? But it's not necessarily the asking price. So the buyers basically set the market value, but those automated valuations are just showing you historically what similar sales are going for around the home. There's a really cool graph. If you go up on realtor.com, it's pretty neat. It shows you 3 different automated valuations of homes, and there's a wide range of them. And, you know, the reason why you want to price a home absolutely correctly is it could mean the difference of you getting the most money when you sell the home or getting less money. According to national statistics, if you overprice a home and then slowly walk the price down, you'll actually net less money. And that's what it seems like a lot of people, at least 1 out of 4 people, are doing right now in this market. And it's not the right strategy. But, you know, some people pick to go with the agent that tells them that they're going to make the most money. And then they get the listing, the house goes on the market, and it sits there. It doesn't sell, and it sits there, and it sits there. And you know what? At the end of the day, it's going to take more time and you're going to net less. Most people want this whole selling and moving experience to be done quickly, right? Maybe not overnight, but for sure in a reasonable amount of time. So right now, the average days on market has gone up to 25 days. So pricing is a form of marketing because it opens the home up, the possibility in the buyer's mind of them being able to get that home. So buyers want the best home that they could get in their price range. So if you're not in their price range, they're going to miss it. Let me give you an example. Most of the websites are set up for a buyer to search in $50,000 increments. So if you priced your home right at $500,000 or $505,000, you're missing all those buyers that are searching between $450,000 and $500,000 that actually probably could afford all the way up to $550,000, but they're trying to stay within their budget. And you don't have to accept an offer at asking price. You can accept anything you want. So the national statistics are that if you price too high and slowly walk the price down, you're going to net less money in the end. You're always better off being priced right out of the gate appropriately. And these automated valuations, they're way off. I check these every time I go out and meet with the home seller because I really want to see what they're looking at. Many times they'll tell me when I ask them what they think their home is worth, they'll say, oh, well, Zillow says X, right? But there's 3 different automated valuations in addition to Zillow. And they're all over the place. I'll show one to you right now. So I'm looking at one right now where the home range of the automated valuations, 3 different ones, was between $386,000 and $409,000. But that home actually sold for $355,000. Wow. And there were no condition issues. It's just that the automated values are looking backwards at the higher prices because the market peaked in April for this year.
That's right.
And it's a miss, right?
No,
so,
of course. I mean, they're looking, he had all the bidding wars and everything not so long ago, and those are the numbers they're looking at. Of course, they would come up with a valuation that is wrong by being higher.
Right. So even real pretty homes, if they're not priced right, they're not going to sell. I recently had a beautiful home over off of North Mark Sheffel, really nice neighborhood there. Brand new home, back to open space. They actually had, it has a 3-car garage, granite in every counter. It's beautiful. Okay. But looking backwards on similar sales, we were priced at $625 and we had lots of showings, but no offers. But fortunately, the seller made a price adjustment immediately and said, I got to go. I can't wait weeks and weeks for this home to sell. So we went down in price from $625 to $599. That put us in a different $50,000 increment between $550 and $6, not above $6. And boom, it sold right away, full price, right? So here's another one where the home actually needed some work. It really did. It needed updating. It wasn't like anything was broken. They replaced the 70s brown carpet with fresh carpet, which was great, but all the kitchens and baths were from the 70s, right? And our strategy was to go basically as is without updating the home except for flooring. So they priced it that way, under $395. This was after the market shifted. Okay. We got 10 offers and it ended up selling for retail price. So updated homes were selling between $430 and $445. That home sold for $430 and it wasn't updated. Why? Because they priced it right. They created enough demand to get 10 offers. Now all these buyers are climbing over each other and they got top dollar. That's how I like to do it. Anyway.
Boy, you do it. And you know what? That's win-win because the seller gets taken care of. And honestly, that's a great home for the person who's buying. You have 10 options when it comes to selling it.
Absolutely. And you know, when you price a home at an asking price, most buyers assume you will accept that number. But you don't want to price too low unless there's a reason. Like I had one home, this is right when COVID broke out, really nice floor plan, good neighborhood, but it had cigarette smoke damage, really bad cigarette smoke damage. And the sellers decided that they really didn't want to update the home. So I said, well, why don't we just price it kind of like the banks do, go below market value, and just let the buyers decide. And it was such chaos. We had so many showings. And I put in the comments that, you know, that there's a reason why it was priced low, because it needed some work, right? We were getting so many showings and we were having trouble with the agents not turning lights off, leaving doors unlocked. It was just nonstop. You know, the seller went out to the property, it was already vacant every day, and found issues like that. And I finally had enough when I discovered that one of the agents took the key out of the digital lockbox, went into the house, stuck the key inside the door in the garage, and closed the door and locked the keys inside the house. And I'm like, why did they do that? I mean, they either did that because they weren't paying attention, or they did that because they didn't want any other buyers in the house. I've seen that happen before. Fortunately, we had a garage door code, and I said, that's it. No more. We are going to monitor all of these showings because I can't get behavior out of the agents while they're showing the property. So we ended up doing a series of 3 open houses. So everybody had a chance to come in and look at it. They were short-term open houses, and we ended up with, I think, 45 offers, and it sold for pretty much retail price because we created demand. So you want to make sure when you're pricing a home that you price it what I call realistically versus optimistically. Everybody wants millions of dollars for their home. I would love to get you millions of dollars for the home, but at the end of the day, buyers are looking at different things. They're looking at, hey, what can I get in my price range? Okay. And so we have to look at the whole market when you decide on pricing, and that's a science, and that's what my team is trained to do. So it's a careful evaluation of not only similar sales, but your current competition. So if you are thinking of making a move and you'd like to get tips on how to prepare your home to get top dollar, what to do, what not to do, get a good idea on how much your home will sell for and how much you'll put in your pocket when it sells, give us a call at 719-301-5700. 3900. Richard?
You're listening to The Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And you can listen to replays of the show. If you missed any of it, you can do that anytime on all of the major podcasts, as well as her website, barbhasthebuyers.com. That's Barb Schlinker. If you want to search it, it's SCHLINKER. Thinking about making a move? Give her a call, 719-301-3900. Barb, what are the other magic bullets on pricing your home to get the top dollar?
Well, I mean, not every home is going to get a bidding war. On the first segment, I talked about the tornado real estate housing market. Some will get a bidding war still, even now. But don't expect that to happen. Very few properties now are getting bidding wars, whereas just a few months ago, almost all of them were. But if it's priced right, it's very likely that you're going to get a great offer and you could work with that. It only takes one really good buyer to get to the finish line. So if you are getting offers, you're priced right. If you're getting tons of showings and no offers, you're too high. If you're getting very few showings, you're even more too high. You're like probably 3 to 5% high. And if you're getting no showings at all, you just did not price the home correctly. It's not going to work. You need to go back to the drawing board and get it right. And you need to pick the agent that really understands pricing, because pricing and what the home looks like and what the competition looks like is a very detailed science. The seller has to price it right. It is their decision, but sometimes they rely wholly on the real estate agent and say, oh, well, the agent said my house is worth X. And then when it doesn't work out, they get frustrated. The house sits on the market for a long time. Everybody thinks there's something wrong with the house. And actually it was just how we priced it, or how it was priced and how it was marketed. So there is a reason why 1 out of 4 home sellers now are reducing their price weekly, is because they're not getting that little piece, which is absolutely critical, right. And you could check with my clients. Just ask Dave and Courtney. Just ask a couple of other clients that I just closed. They're very, very happy because we got it priced right and we got at or above asking price in a short period of time. You don't want to lag this out or run, have this whole process go on and on for weeks and weeks. So if you're interested in getting an idea on what your home will sell for, you can call us anytime at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
And I can vouch for what a great job you do. I've got a half a dozen friends. One of them, you sold the house in one weekend. You're amazing at what you do. That's why you are the only person I recommend. You're listening to Barb Schlinker on the Real Estate Voice Show. And if you're thinking of selling your home, you want to get the most amount of money when you sell, call Barb at 719-301-3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll be discussing Barb's hot new listings. You want to stay tuned for that. She's got some amazing ones. Back after this.